Why do you think Monica Bellucci is so good for this movie?
I think it's obvious. I think she is a wonderful actress. She's like an old-fashioned movie star. It's like she's got so much charisma, so much aura around her. When her name got mentioned for this role, it seemed perfect.
Isn't it great that Bond finally gets somebody around his own age?
When her name, like I said, when her name came up, it was like, well, she's the right person for it. It was only afterwards, when people started bringing it up, that we actually even thought about it.
Also, film is full of great fight sequences, especially that sequence on the train. Could you touch a bit on how did that happen? Did you use a lot of stunt people or not?
Unfortunately not, no, because it's very tight on the train, so the camera has to be very close. So most of it's me. There are some bits which I'm glad I didn't do because they would have hurt way too much. But we rehearsed it for 6 weeks, continually, before we started shooting, and then during filming. We had false railway carriages set up, and we could do the fight from beginning to end without stopping. We didn't do that in the scene. We cut it into pieces, but we knew where we were. And David's an incredible person to work with because he's a fighter, so he knows how to move. And he's quite scary.
He's very intimidating.
Yeah, he is, but that's what a great henchman.
How many injuries have you had, like, during Bond
all 4
series?
films?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think countless.
What have you...
I've had my shoulder done, I've had, all sorts of stuff, and bits of surgery done on myself. But I've enjoyed the physicality of doing these films. I always wanted to do it, and it's if I was playing a sport, I'd pick up injuries. I mean, if you commit to something, you pick up injuries. So
it's like being a sportsman.
I'm no sportsman, but that's how I see it, and I have a very good surgeon.
How do you decompress after doing film like this, which is really a long production period?
You see your family. I mean, that's who you miss. That's the hardest part of shooting the film, is you miss your family, and so you just go home, and there's no room for James Bond at my house.
I guess you would need a bit of a break from James Bond. Your next film role, would you do something very different?
I've always tried not to do that, try and do something completely different. I work on the script. If I see a good script and I really like it, I wouldn't mind if it could be another spy, as long as it was, it was not so closely related. I'd want to challenge myself, and I'd want to push myself in a different direction if I had the choice.
When I was watching House of Cards last season, there was Vladimir Putin. And I thought Daniel Craig could play a politician Vladimir Putin.
I don't think I'd want to do that, no. There's only one.
There's only one?
Yeah.
The real president?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it to that.
Okay, all right. Thank you.